Hey, fixed signs. Whoo. So we got Taurus. We've got Scorpio. Is that correct? No, we've got Taurus. We've got Leo. We've got Scorpio. And we have Aquarius. You know, I'm going to do 4 stacks here. None of them are designated to any individual sign. I would say just pick what resonates and leave what doesn't. So it gives you like the opportunity to kind of like, you know, open yourself up to the reading rather than, you know, choose something for yourself before you even hear it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to lay these out. And then I'm gonna lay, or shuffle some of these. And then I'm gonna lay these out too. So I'm using the Romance Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And I'm clarifying that with the Archangel Power. Oh, the Strength card came up in your relationships. Okay. Clarifying that with the Archangel Power Tarot. If I said that already, by Doreen Virtue. I'm not really sure. But, yeah. The Strength card came up, and that's number 11, actually. So it is sort of like the Justice card in a sense, right? And it is related to mental strength, okay? And the mind, because number 11 is also the 11th house, which is Aquarius. And that's talking about the strength of the mind, okay? And, you know, mental fortitude and keeping the mind, you know, advancing, okay? And learning. Never stop learning, basically. Okay, here we go. This is for you, fixed signs. First one, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, right? Okay. So if you're thinking about the past or if you're thinking about the future, you're not thinking about this moment that you're in right now. And it's actually this moment that is going to attract the very thing that you want. So stop thinking about a future you that doesn't even exist yet because you're in this moment, right? Stop thinking about a past you that already existed that is no longer, because that was you back then when you know, didn't know much more than you know now. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here, fixed signs. 9 of Pentacles, which is the 9 of Ariel, right? So this is actually saying stop and smell the roses, right? That's what this is. Attraction, being in the moment right now. Stop and smell the roses, you know. Being grateful for this moment too. And that's what's going to attract things, because they want to be attracted to something that is pulling in good vibes. You know, nothing that is good wants to go to something that is bad. Like, why? You know what I mean? That's why the ring never got to whatever his name was. That's not tepid. You know, so attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Yeah, so the 9 of Pentacles does talk about you always just kind of like being distracted by like the stuff that you have to do, like the responsibilities, because it is related to the moon. You know, that sort of like feeling of being responsible to, you know, what needs you, what's necessary, right? And responding to certain things. So it talks about responsibility as well, you know, so it's kind of like your focus on your responsibilities has kind of like taken you out of the moment, or has prevented you from experiencing some of the moments of beauty, you know, naturally in your life, right? You haven't had the time to process or digest, you know, the true beauty. You know, stop looking for beauty in like the ways that everyone else is, you know what I mean? Let's go in the opposite direction. Let's go in a new direction with the The Nine of Pentacles is asking you to go in a new direction so that you can be fulfilled in different ways, new ways than you have been before, right? It's saying, like, if you want to experience something new, sometimes you have to try to make certain changes in order to attract those new things in your life, right? And you're also trying to, like, finish a cycle, right? You're trying to conclude some energy, some energetic cycle, right? And being in this moment here, right, and not that moment back then, is what is going to bring you into this moment fully and take you into the next moment fully, right? Anyway. Separation for some of you. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. The Chariot, yeah. So some of you are getting away, right? And it's best for you to do that. You need the space. You need to move forward so that you can achieve balance, right? Because you being stuck in this place isn't making it any better for you. You know what I mean? You definitely have to move forward with the Chariot. It's kind of like, with that energy, if it's stuck in one place, it doesn't feel balanced. It has to move. And when you start moving, that's when you actually are working with gravity and working with balance, you know? So it's like, what have I learned? What is the gravity of the situation? And how can I cope with the gravity of the situation? Or, you know, maybe I'm tired of coping with the gravity of the situation and I'm ready to, you know, experience myself being victorious in the end by doing what I've wanted to do all along, which is kind of like move out or advance in some kind of way forward. You know, this could be like with a job, okay? Or it could also be with a relationship. It says determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. So maybe this separation is coming on because you felt like the other person wasn't really willing to acknowledge some of the things about you that you felt like are some of your best qualities or are the things that you take pride in. You know, the things that you take pride in about yourself are sort of the things that you want other people to kind of like see. But, you know, if you take pride in it, it's not really meant for anybody else to give you the approval, right? Because you're not looking for the validation because it's just like who you are and what you do, right? But at the same time, you weren't getting the feedback that you needed from this relationship to feel like it was going anywhere or, you know, or like you were getting anything out of it or the other person was getting anything out of it. And that's why the separation is happening. You see what I mean? Determination and self-control, right? So you've definitely had to be very disciplined, okay? You've had to kind of like keep some of your opinions to yourself, and definitely you've had to keep some of your feelings and emotions to yourself. And it's like you don't want to do that any longer because the more you suppress that, the more you hold on to something, the more you keep yourself held back, the more the worse the scenario gets, the worse the situation gets, the worse your feelings about it get, the worse your you lose perspective. You know what I mean? So when you stay in a bad situation, you lose perspective. And it's not until you get out of that bad situation that you have the perspective that you need so that you actually learn the lesson so that you're not in the same situation moving forward, right? Or you know how to at least recognize it, you know? Because sometimes when you're in a situation, you're so lost in the circumstances that you don't see the possibility of getting out of it. You know, it's just like, you know, the brain is crazy, right? And then sometimes we're just so vulnerable that we are like, we don't see the situation clearly or for what it really is, right? Because we don't have the discernment. We're just not able to see. Anyway, let's see what the next one is for you all, fixed signs. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Queen of Gabriel. So it could be another fire sign, right? It could be an Aries, or it could be a Sagittarius. And it could definitely be a Leo, right? And the reconciliation card coming up with the Queen of Gabriel card just says, you know, like, be in your highest vibrational energy, you know, be in your light, right? And also be in your spirit and your passion too, right? Because you have to know who you are. okay? Especially if there's a reconciliation in some kind of way, shape, or form, because like you don't want to go into something and there being a reconciliation and you still are like literally the same ways that you were before, because the reconciliation is going to be null and void pretty soon because you're going to fall back into the same pattern. So the reconciliation card with the Queen of Gabriel is saying be passionate about not falling back into the same patterns. And I'm not saying like be passionate about not letting the same thing happen again, but it's like not falling into the same pattern because you know that the same thing will happen again, okay? So this card says you can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people, right? Because we're trying to get things done with the Queen of Gabriel, right? Passionate, charming, brilliant, and independent. We're trying to be able to work well by ourselves, for ourselves, you know, with ourselves. And if we need other people, then we definitely can attract those people. But try to do as much as you can on your own. You know, somebody might come in and try to like offer you some help with something, but then it's kind of like, you know, just be mindful of that and what that might mean for you. And if that's going to be in your best interest or not, because it is a Mercury retrograde right now, and this is the Queen of Gabriel. And this could just be somebody coming in and bringing a lot of extraness with them. All right, so here we go. Last one for the fixed signs, and we have Aquarius here. So this one is specifically for you. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So it's your beliefs. Because your religious upbringing, your spiritual path, it's your beliefs. It's how you look at the world. What is your perspective? How do you philosophize your experience? You know? And how are you relating to the spirit of other people, their energy, and what they bring in, right? What are you learning from their spirit and from their energy? Are you learning anything? It says that, oh, this is the Knight of Michael. So this could be you, Aquarius, obviously, because it's here, but this isn't the King of Michael, which is definitely Aquarius. This is Aquarius too, because it's air, but it's more on a sense of Gemini. So you're confused about something, or like, I feel like, you know, the Knight of Michael is somebody that kind of like, I feel like says stuff sometimes, and they're emotionally detached from it, right? So yeah, I feel like someone doesn't connect spiritually to someone, and that's kind of like spoiling it for them, because this Knight of Michael energy is 1/3 Taurus, which is earth. It is Gemini, which is air, and it's a knight, so all the knights are fire. So there isn't really any water here. So I feel like there isn't an emotional or spiritual connection, or there's no spiritual connection, which means that eventually that connection of love might fly the coop quickly. Just because this person isn't as spiritual as you are and you're detached from them in that kind of way, right? They are kind of committed to their distractions, and you are not like that. You're kind of like trying to find some kind of way, and they're just going whichever way they feel like they want to go. And you're like, that's fine. Yeah, of course, freedom and all of that. But like, what do you think? Do you have any kind of like, you know, depth of thought about anything? Or are you just going and like having experiences that, you know, give you stories to tell, right? It's like that. Anyway, that's going to be it for the fixed signs. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot there. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely subscribe, like, share, comment. My personal account is NYC Kendrick. And if you want to get a personal reading, it is providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. I need water.